Hello and welcome to FF News' coverage of Money 2020 Las Vegas. Now, joining me here today is Paul Provenzano from ebankIT. Paul, how are you doing? You good?
I'm doing awesome, doing really good, thank you.
That's great to hear. Now, Paul, could you please tell our viewers a bit more about your role and ebankIT itself?
Yeah, absolutely, happy to do that. So I'm the VP of Market Development for ebankIT in the US. ebankIT is a global digital banking company based out of Portugal. And so for the last 10 years, we've been growing at a really nice pace throughout Europe, Africa, Canada, and now US prime time.
That's
we're ready to
absolutely
come to the
amazing.
US. Yeah, so I'm leading the efforts for that.
The US banking scene is also highly localized in a lot of places.
Right.
You know, you see community banks really offering bespoke solutions, such as farming or in different regions like that. What does that mean for a player like ebankIT?
Yeah, so when we look at community banks especially, there's an opportunity to help extend the types of services that they enable for the breadth of business lines that they cover, whether it's a consumer, whether it's a small business, or a more specialized commercial, whether it's agriculture or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And you look at these business lines, they are starting to require and demand more personalized or specific capabilities.
Yeah.
So we look at that as an opportunity to help a financial institution personalize the type of business relationship that they have with, whether it's a business or a small business or a consumer. That personalization for us is the area of focus.
It's a key differentiator going forward, I believe, being able to offer that contextual kind of offering.
That's right.
That wouldn't be possible in the traditional kind of method of correspondent banking, but that is changing, and the banks are getting on board, and so do the fintechs together in partnership. It's brilliant to see this combination. Right. Can you tell us a bit more about that nature of partnerships? Because I know you mentioned open APIs and your work with traditional institutions.
Yeah, so this is this co-opetition theme, right?
Yes,
there's
great word.
Yeah, there's competing going on between fintechs and banks, but at the same time, there's an opportunity to leverage technology. What we do is we enable a financial institution to pick the winners that are going to serve them and their customers best, and then through our open API framework, integrate those into the different use cases. And so it creates a much cleaner, a much simpler user experience so that they're just initiating the transaction and then not worrying about the settlement, fraud, or any other obstacles or friction that might come up along the way.
What's next for ebankIT?
Yeah, so we're excited about our US launch, and so we're in the midst of our go-to-market strategy. We've got a lot of strong interest from US financial institutions. They are keen to hear about our experience globally because there's some expertise that we can bring in that's a bit unique to the US. So so we're really opportunistic about what's ahead of us in the US and see that as a great opportunity.
Oh, now, speaking of opportunities, we've had the chance to meet at Money 2020 Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What's excited you about this conference?
Yeah, so what I'm seeing is there's a few themes. Obviously, AI is kind of interweaved through a lot of conversations. So you kind of filter through that noise.
Yes.
And what's interesting is a lot of talk around KYC and leveraging data that already exists on consumers, but in a way that's productive, a way that helps mitigate fraud, in a way that helps create an onboarding process, a new account process more efficiently. So seeing a lot in the way of that. And then there's a lot of talk around a more personalized. How do you more personalize, make that user experience or just the user relationship, the customer relationship more meaningful? Yeah. So a lot of discussion, a lot of topics around that.
Well, it's brilliant that you've brought it to that personalization ahead, because that seemed to be a concurrent theme throughout our entire conversation. And it really highlights how ebankIT is very granular in that regard. So Paul, I want to say a massive thank you for your insights.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure.
Thank you, this is great, I appreciate it.